Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week I'm waiting for parts, so I'm going to do a little bit of cosmetic work. See you in a minute. It's time to add a bit more unnecessary frippery to the car. There's a header tank for the radiator behind the cowl. The cap sticks out through the front of the bonnet, so in order to get the bonnet sorted I really want to get this organised so that I can work around it. The tank itself I've got a picture of. I've got no scale or anything, but this is into the realms of just taking a flyer at it really. It's a metal cap on a short brass neck. Can't find anything in brass that's anything remotely like it, but I have found the lid of my mitre bond fits in there quite nicely and quite snugly if you fit that on. So that would give me the riser piece that I need on the neck, and we can spray that brass finish. And then we've got a black tank below that which is about 60 millimeters coming back this way, and within that I can just build a small platform to screw that to or bolt that to. We can run a bolt all the way down through from the top, fix it in, and we've got ourselves the tank done. I'm just marking out on the inside. This is the piece that goes on the inside of the scuttle of the nose cone that I haven't yet fitted. I haven't even taken it to aluminium yet. So I'm just sort of guessing vaguely the shape of this thing from the drawing I've got, and then I'm going to make the tank up out of Cyclekart, which is the stuff I use for my model making. It doesn't need to be anything particularly substantial, but the beauty of it is we can get a circle or a semicircle or a quadrant bent on it quite happily and glue it together with methyl ethyl ketone, I think it is, MEK, which is what I think they also use as the hardener on some of the resins. But put ourselves a centre line in. So I've got a level at which I want the bottom of the tank to sit. Will come out about 60 mil, and I now need to do the top of the tank, which is just below the cowl. So I want that to be somewhere probably around there. Can always cut this down a bit. So we'll make the tank 80 mil deep as well. Makes it nice and straightforward. So we've got 80 there. So that gives me a top to the tank, gives me a bottom to the tank. I need to get the quadrant on the corners, which look to be a little bit less. We have got a vertical of about 30 mil, 10 mil or so. Perhaps I'll make that 20 mil. We'll have a vertical of 20 mil either side. So now I need to put a line in at half that top distance, 60 mil, 30 mil down, and that will give me the radius for the corners, which I can then get the compasses out and have a go with, and then we can go up and then bring the corner around. The compasses out. As I said the other day, this is one of the most used things in the, although it belongs in the house, I seem to be forever getting it out to use for things. So we set a 30 mil radius on that, and effectively I need to get a position that will bring that round bit tight. Maybe we come down a bit. Bring that down. I think my maths is slightly off with that, because I was thinking we've got a 60mm radius, but we haven't. So we'll take that down, take that line out, and we'll come down to maybe 50mm. Yeah, looks better. 50mm. Take that out to a 50mm radius. I doubt if it'll go on that. I don't know, let's see. Yeah, might just get there. Yep, 50mm. So now that will give me something which goes, yeah, that's about right. Now then, just measure that one side and see what we've got. 100mm. So that makes the pivot point 50. Is that right? Yeah. So we make the pivot point at 50 on either side. Just do that. And take that from there. That's about right for shape. Again, we're looking at representation rather than the actual thing itself. Okay, and then we'll put the vertical bit of the tank down from there. So we have that. And having got that now, I don't have to do any more than make that back plate in Cyclekart. In fact, make 2 plates like that in Cyclekart, and we've got the shape that we want. We can make the tank up, so that'll go on top. I think we're there. Move it onto plastic. Now I could make it out of dye bond actually, but I think I'll stick with plastic for the moment, purely and simply because I can get these tight bends so much more easily with Cyclekart. So I want a little bit of the bottom edge sticking out. You can see there's like a seam all the way around this. So I work on 85mm for the bottom. I'll just carry on doing this and come back to you when we've got the rough shape sorted. So that's making the base shape that I need. All I need to do then is find a piece of Cyclekart, probably slightly thinner than this, and I'll just roll over the top, and we'll have a fairly substantial box made that will be the replica of the tank. Got the the lip on the front edge that I wanted, a very slight lip around the sides like I wanted, so it should look the part. Just step that one back a bit there, that's a little bit forward. I'll let that dry. What I've also found is a piece of I think it's cotton reel material from my wife, yeah, cotton reel surplus centre from my wife, that is almost the right height. I might build it up a bit underneath it, but that'll take the bolt right the way through and transmit the clamping pressure right the way through from top to bottom. But I will need just about 5mm of platform for it to sit on, so we'll probably put a couple of layers of Cyclekart at either end just to give a bit more stiffness to it all. But really, once that's got its curvy bit on it, that will be plenty strong enough as a finished tank. Virtually no weight in it, and if I can find my bit of dye bond that I started with, let's see where it's going to end up when it's done. So that should be fine. So I've got the centre part reinforced with a tube running all the way up to the top. Just going to put another reinforcing plate around the top, which will hold the bolt at the top end, and then we can put the cladding on over the top of that afterwards. So we'll just get it finished. It's a job to get the glue around that end. What that will allow now is that we can get a long bolt. As I say, it will need to be a long bolt that will go through there, through the bottom, and that will fix that in that position. So we just need to do the top section now to go over all of this, and we've got the tank sorted. So I just need to see how long that needs to be. That should do it. So that's glued the main structure up. I'll just leave that, probably clamp it just to make sure nothing comes away. But that's essentially the shape. I've got a little bit of cleaning up to do, a bit of filing up of edges to tidy it once it's dried off. But this stuff takes a while. The glue and the plastic melt together, and until it's gone back hard again, you can't really get a great deal of sense out of it. It needs to be just held roughly clamped, lightly clamped I should say, just until it's really gone hard again and solidified. But I think that's good enough for a replica Austin 7-header tank with a bit of fettling. We can then give it a coat of plastic primer, matte black, gold on the neck, and we're just about done. That's ready for a coat of paint now, and we can start and put it into use. So that's the finished job. I've stuck a bracket underneath it to carry the thing itself, glued it onto the underneath of the tank, put the neck on, put a bolt right the way through. That sits in there, gives us pretty much what we want. That'll sit just in front of the engine. So I can now get on and fit the bonnet around that shape now. But you can see now the front bulkhead is actually on the bonnet, has got to be there rather than there. So there we are, we've got the header tank done. There's a little bit of work to do with a hose coming out of that down onto the block, but until I've got the engine, or the dummy engine, sorted, I don't quite know how that'll work. It's only plastic, so we can sort it out. It is unnecessary weight, it is unnecessary work, but at the moment, as I said at the beginning, I'm waiting for parts, so it's just something that helps these projects along a bit, in that it gives you a little bit of a lift to see something finished. I hope the video was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next week. We'll be doing something different on the cart. Hope to see you then. Bye!